Hey guys, we're in Psalm 119 and we're reading 141. And it says, I am small and despised, yet I do not forget your precepts. Have you ever forgotten your keys? And, it's funny because you could forget something that is in your hand. Like, anybody know where my cell phone is? And then you reach to call somebody to ask them to look for your cell phone. That's crazy. But that happens because we get so busy and life bears down on us. Same thing with the ancients. And they were saying, no matter what my circumstances, he said, I'm small and despised. Now, whoever wrote this psalm, it's not attributed to King David. He wrote most of the Psalms. Well, he was a king and he was once a shepherd boy and then he was a king, but he never really seemed to have gotten governed by his social station. It was like, while he was a shepherd boy, he said, the Lord is my shepherd. God he's going to protect me when he faced Goliath. He had a confidence about God when he was a kid. God delivered me from the lion and the bear when I was protecting my sheep. He will deliver me from this Philistine. He had that. And then when he was great, he said, your gentleness has made me great. And one time in a victory processional, in the streets, he was dancing and his clothes started to loosen and fall off. And his wife was so indignant because he was being wasn't dignified, but really what it was David said, whether I'm in a high and lofty place or whether I'm small and despised, or whoever the writer of the psalm is saying, I'm not going to be forgetful of your precepts, no matter what my circumstances. To this, we attach James chapter 1, where it says in verse 23, it says, prove yourselves to be doers of the word and not merely hearers who delude themselves. It says in verse 22. Then verse 23, if anyone is a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like a man who looks at his natural face in a mirror. For once he has looked at himself and gone away, he has immediately forgotten what kind of person he was. But one who looks intently at the perfect law. This is why we're reading Psalm 119. What we're doing is we're looking intently at the perfect law. The law of the Lord is perfect, Psalm 19. It's perfect, enlightening the eyes. And it says here, but the one who looks intently at the perfect law, the law of liberty, and abides by it, not having become a forgetful hearer, but an effectual doer, this man will be blessed in what he does. Wow. So he says, I'm small and despised, yet I do not forget your precepts. Through my journey as a Christian, I've run into all kinds of people with all kinds of circumstances in all kinds of countries and all kinds of cities and urban, rural, suburban America, in other places in the world. And no matter what their social station, they decided, I'm going to stay faithful to the word. I've been watching videos and hearing experiences of places that they're called developing nations. They used to be called third world countries. Now they're called developing nations. But yet with such a rock solid fervency, no matter what my circumstances, I love the word. One time I was in an obscure part of the center of Nigeria, way out way far away from the big city urban areas of Lagos and so forth, and way out there. And people walked for days to get to the meeting to hear the evangelist preach the message of Jesus. And the evangelist's assistant, the second in command, he said to me, these people really value their Christianity. Though small and despised, though obscure, out with very little in terms of economic means or opportunities, just sustenance type of hand-to-mouth life. And yet they do not forget his precepts. They would walk for days to go out in the heat to hear the message of Jesus. When in developed nations, you can have so many Bibles and so much access to so many things, be high and lofty and forget his precepts. So this is a powerful little niche here in this amazing chapter. I am small and despised, yet I do not forget your precepts. Let's not be forgetful hearers, but let's be effectual doers. Let's treasure this. And next time you and I receive communion, 1 Corinthians 11 says that when we do this, we're putting into remembrance the Lord's death until he comes. We're going to be remembering. We're going to be focusing. We are not going to forget his precepts. Amen.